Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Pratika, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you all how to create 6 different fruit manicures. For most of these manicures I've gone with the freehand technique, but for one of it I've gone with stamping, and it's super easy to create, so do give it a try. And now without wasting more time, let's get right in the video. So the first fruit manicure today is not something that you guys will easily guess, and for this I'm going to be using the red nail polish as my main color, and then I'm going to be using the green as well as brown polish for the details. So I will be starting with this red polish, which is from TS Color Police. I'm just going to be using the brush of the nail polish to create this curvy structure from the left to the center and then from the right to the center. So this basically looks like a heart, and it looks perfect for Valentine's Day. You can just do this on all your nails if your nail is of this shape, and it will look adorable. So you just have to create this heart-like structure. I'm just going to be doing this again using the same brush and the color just to bring out the color as well as to give it complete opacity. So next I'm going to be using a thin brush along with my green polish to create this curve-like structure at the depression on the top of my heart. And next I'm going to be using the same brush as well as the polish to create a leaf-like structure on the top of this curve. So by now some of you must be able to guess this is an apple. So it is super easy to create this, and I absolutely love how it turned out to be. So next I'm just going to use the brush as well as my brown polish, and I'm going to create the stem of the apple. You can use just a toothpick to create this because the stem has just 2 vertical lines as well as a horizontal line, and then you can fill it in. So from all the feedback that I received when I posted this on Instagram, most of them told me that it looks like red chilies or capsicum. I know it kind of does look like that just because of the shape of my nail, but if your nail is round or curved at the bottom, it's going to look just like an apple, and come on, none of the other things will ever have a stem as well as a leaf. So this is how I created the apple, and finally I'm going to apply a thick layer of a top coat just to bring out the lustrous shine, and it looks stunning. So the next fruit that I'm going to be creating is one of my favorite fruits, and I absolutely love it. So this is going to be a kiwi, and for this I'm going to be using my green polish as a base color, and this is again by TS Color Police. So if you haven't watched my swatch video, then I have 2 videos where I've swatched 10 polish each from this brand. And along with this green polish, I'm also going to be using white as well as black. So you can use any light green shade as a flesh of the kiwi. I wouldn't recommend using something really dark. It's kind of like a light to mid green shade. So next I'm going to be using this sponge as well as my white polish to create the center of the kiwi. So if you know, the center of the kiwi is kind of off-white yellowish, but I did not have any of those colors, so I just used white. So it's very similar to making a gradient design, but in this case it's just going to be at the center. So I have just applied a circular shape on my sponge, and I'm going to be sponging it right at the center of my nail. So I really love how this turned out to be. So what I'm going to be doing next is I just want this to blend really well. So I applied a layer of a top coat just to blend this and bring out that smooth finish. And finally I'm just going to be using my dotting tool as well as the black polish to create the seeds of the kiwi. So one thing you need to remember is that the seeds are not accumulated in the center, but there is a little bit white that is left at the center of the nail, and then you can go around with the seeds. So you can also do this using a toothpick, which I've already shown in one of my videos that a toothpick is the best dotting tool you can use. And this is how the kiwi looks like. The third fruit manicure that I'm going to be creating is one of my childhood favorites, and it's a strawberry. So I know strawberry is one of the most common favorite fruits of a lot of people, and it's super easy to create. You just need red polish along with the green polish and yellow for the seeds. So for my base, I'm just going to be starting with applying the red polish, and I'm going to be applying 2 coats of this red polish to bring out the lustrous shine that this polish gives. So I had 2 different ideas to create the strawberry manicure, but this was the one that I wanted to go for, and I used the other ideas to create the watermelon later on. So for this manicure, I have not gone to the inner portion of the strawberry but the outer portion of the strawberry. So once I'm done with applying the red polish as my base, I'm just going to be using my brush along with my green polish and create the leaves on top of the strawberry. So I totally forgot to click on the record button and I already finished creating the outline, but you can see you can just draw the outline with some curvy leaf structures, some facing towards the left and some facing towards the right, just like how it's present on the strawberry. So once I'm done with the outline, I'm just going to be filling it in completely with this green polish. So one of the things that I really like doing over here is I have drawn the leaf using a dark green polish, and then using a light green polish I just added an outline to one of the sides of each leaf. So this gives it a little more depth and a shadow-like effect to it. So once I'm done with that, I'm just going to be using the toothpick as well as my yellow polish to create the seeds on the outer layer of the strawberry. So you can apply this randomly and just make sure that it's not a dot or not a circle. It needs to have like a drip-like pattern to each of the dots. So the top coat is one of my favorite parts for this manicure because each of these designs were made using different shades and it looks like different parts. But once you apply the top coat, you can see it looks just like one whole manicure. It looks as though you've just taken a decal and applied on it. I just love how the top coat gives it this smooth glossy finish and makes it look like a whole strawberry. For the next fruit manicure, I went with stamping. I was originally planning to do this freehand, but then I found that my stamping plate already has this design and that's why I went with it. So I'm just going to be using a very light base and then I'm going to be using yellow. So this is a very light mint shade from Dibel Cosmetics and it's called Mint Ammo. You can find a link to all the products in the description box below. And then I'm going to be using the yellow polish from Bon Petit store. So I have to say this is my least favorite fruit. Actually, it's the only fruit so far that I do not like. And it's a banana. So I actually got this idea by seeing a desktop wallpaper which had a light base as well as some bananas here and there. So this is a stamping plate I was talking about, and this is the Tropical Punch by Bon Petit store. So I'm also going to be leaving a link to this as well. It has really stunning patterns. So I just realized at this moment that it also has a watermelon over here as well as a cute pineapple which I'm going to be using next time. So that is the banana that I'm going to be using, and the stamping polish is by Nicole Diary. So I've already done a video on how to stamp your nails and you can check it out in the link above. So once I pick this up, I'm just going to be adding a little bit of black on the tip of this pattern so that it actually looks like a banana. And then I'm going to be using my brush as well as this yellow polish to fill it in. Once you're done with that, I'm just going to be stamping it. And I'm just going to be doing this over and again and stamping at least 4 to 5 bananas. So there's another trick with which it will look really pretty. So you can just stamp half of the banana at the top and half at the bottom and it will look super cute. So this is how it turned out to be and I absolutely love it. So I did end up applying a top coat after this, and even though this is my least favorite fruit, it was one of the best fruit manicures that I've done. So the next fruit manicure that I'm going to be creating is one of the most needed fruit during the summer, and it's a watermelon. So I went with the similar idea as the previous one where I went with a light base and then I'm going to be drawing the design over it. So for this manicure you will need a red or pink polish as well as white, green and black for the seeds. So for my base I went with this light beige color by Try Sugar. I have swatched 8 different polishes from Try Sugar in my videos earlier, so you can check it out, and these are one of my favorite polishes. and this is a really stunning color. The only thing with this shade is that it needs 3 coats for complete opacity. So for the body of the watermelon, I actually went with this dark pink shade by TS, and you can also go with red, but the watermelon is not completely red. It's kind of like a dark pinkish red shade, so I went with pink just to give it this effect. So I'm just going to be using my brush as well as a pink shade to form triangles all around my nail. So it's really easy to draw triangles, and if you find it difficult, you can always start with drawing 3 dots and then drawing the outline and filling it in. So I have just drawn triangles all around my nail. So once I'm done with that, I'm just going to be using a toothpick, but you can also use a brush to create a smile-like curve at the edge of the triangle. So what I'm trying to draw over here is the intermediate layer between the flesh of the watermelon as well as the outer cover. So I'm just going to be drawing this on most of the triangles, and you can just draw it at the bottommost part of the triangle. So once I'm done with that, I did the same thing with the toothpick as well as the green polish, and I just drew a similar curve but at the bottom of the white layer. So right now it looks super cute, and finally I'm just going to be using my brush as well as a black polish to draw the seeds on each of these watermelons. So if you notice that not every watermelon has the outer cover, some of them are just half, and that kind of gives it a natural look. So lastly, I'm just going to apply a thick layer of a glossy top coat to seal it all in. So the last fruit manicure that I'm going to be creating in this video is cherry. So for this I went with this lovely green shade, and this is again by Debel Cosmetics and it's called Olive Jade. So it's a very pretty olive green shade, and it's actually opaque in just one coat, but I'm just going to be applying 2 coats of this polish. So I've actually wanted to swatch all of the Debel polishes that I have because I absolutely love them, but I just didn't have the time to swatch all of them. But I'm going to be recording it soon and posting the video. So once I'm done with that, I'm just going to be using my brush as well as the dark green polish, and I'm creating V-shaped leaf or branches for the cherries. So next I just applied dots of this green polish randomly on my nail. So the easiest way to create cherries is to use a dotting tool or a toothpick to create those dots. But I had these caviar beads since a really long time and I wanted to use this, so I went a little bit too creative for this one. So what I did was I used my red as well as the pink caviar beads, and then I applied it for my cherries. So first I went with my clear nail polish to give it a base to stick on, and then I started applying these caviar beads below the branch. I kind of went random with this. I used 2 for some or 3 or 4 for some. So it kind of does look like a bunch of red grapes, but this was just supposed to be cherries. And I really love how this turned out to be, and I'm definitely going to be using the other caviar beads as well. If you guys like this video, then make sure to subscribe to my channel and also hit the bell icon to not miss any videos, and let me know in the comment box below which one was your favorite manicure. So that's all for today's video. See you on the next one.